Hello everybody, and welcome to another Conquest map demonstration. This time, we're at the Rainbow Sage's Tower in Chapter 11, a chapter that's designed to introduce the player to a lot of concepts that Conquest will reuse going forward. In the bottom left room, there are archers with counter, which prevents you from attacking them at one range all willy-nilly like you usually would. In the upper left, there's ninjas with lunge, who will drag you across the room if you don't one-round them, and eventually place you in range of Kaze, who's quite threatening to most of your units. And while sending Effie in with a strength pair-up and a javelin trivializes the room on hard mode, Lunatic adds an Oni Savage with a hammer to discourage that idea. In the bottom right room, there are Oni Savages who are led by Rinka, whose warding blow makes Nosferatu tanking ineffective against her, even if it's still useful against the other Onis, and the ninja in the room does the same. They also have seal resistance, which makes things harder against the next room full of diviners, especially if Azama lands his hexing rod on you. While high resistance mostly mitigates that threat, the archer in the room complicates that approach a bit. Annoyingly, these enemies also have Miracle, which can prove to be unfortunate if it procs at the wrong time. Whichever path you take, you'll be led to the central room, which is the most dangerous of them. Paired Samurai with lunge and armored blow will almost certainly lunge you closer in, where you'll be attacked by another pair who both have life and death for surprisingly high damage. A ninja and a diviner also stand by to pile onto your units. If you make it past all of that, you reach the top room where Hinoka and her allies have skills that make them immune to effective damage, and auras that cover one another to help their bulk. So in total, we have counter bow units, lunging ninjas, seal skills, a hexing rod, armored and warding blow, and tricky enemy formations. These are all things that Conquest throws at you later in more challenging ways, and so the developers wanted to introduce them here in a more controlled environment. Since there's no time pressure, it's perfectly viable to just fully heal and wait out debuffs before going up each set of stairs, and you can always retreat down to the previous room if need be. However, we're not going to do that. This here is a playthrough where I want to beat the game without reclassing or capturing, and also recruit every unit in the game, including all of Gen 2. That means I have no captured units, and no special builds like Wyvern Elise or Corn in a specific talent, nothing like that. It's just a bog standard vanilla set of units. And I want to pair them all off in as timely of a manner as possible, meaning building support between my intended pairings as best I can. For this particular playthrough, I want to pair Silas with Effie and Arthur with Elise, and that means making things more difficult for us on this map. Silas and Effie are both quite valuable here, especially in the central room, while Elise and Arthur are comparatively less useful. What's next chapter is the one where Elise gets sick and therefore benched. My only choice for support optimization is to use her and Arthur here, and the other two on the next map. Worry not though, as we'll be able to take on this map pretty handily. I want to use this video both as a showcase on how to beat this map, but also as a showcase of how important it can be to utilize both attack stance and guard stance together. Both stances are very strong, with upsides and downsides to both, and using both alongside one another here is going to be the key to victory. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. For those curious, I'm playing on an average growth patch, so what my units are doing here is an example of their expected performance alongside the use of tonics and meals. We'll be going down both sides at once, and that means splitting our army in two. The squad going down the left side I'll be referring to as Team Camilla, and the squad going down the right I'll call Team Elise. First things first, Elise goes up the stairs and drops Arthur with his hand axe in range of two Onis and the ninja, the latter of which he'll kill with Elise's dual strike. He doesn't take very much damage from them between Elise's Lily's Poise and Demoiselle. For clarity's sake, both of them were instantly promoted to level 10, so they can pass down skills to their son Percy as soon as possible. Korn and Odin, who are the remaining members of Team Elise, wait alongside the couple. Meanwhile, Jacob, with support from Nyx, climbs up the stairs and waits in range of a few archers. Camilla follows them up, but she remains on the stairs tile outside of enemy range. Everyone else crowds around the stairs entrance, and Azura gets some singing experience in, since she hasn't unlocked Inspiring Song yet and would like to do so sooner rather than later. Although Arthur faces crit chances from all 3 enemies he fights here, it's actually only bad if the Steel Club Oni crits him, since the ninja does no damage, and the Iron Club one only does 9 on a crit. Things look dangerous on Jacob's end as well, since he can only live 2 archer attacks. But the 3rd one gets blocked by Guard Gauge, and the 3 archers block the 4th one and the Diviner from reaching him. Camilla starts off the turn by killing the Diviner with the Dual Club to get him out of the picture, but she does so with a lunge so that Niles can use her Dual Strike to pick off Setsuna. He switches her to the Iron Axe first for the sake of reliability though. Nyx then takes out the full health archer from 2 range, since she takes counter damage at 1 range either way, and this positioning allows her to apply Heartseeker to 2 other enemies. Sullen and Baruka will clean up the remainder of them. Their future partners haven't arrived yet, so they don't really have any supports to build, but I want EXP on them anyways, and Baruka's pair up will be helpful in the coming rooms. Team Elise plays cleanup duty. Arthur defeats 1 low health Oni, and Elise uses his support to take out the full health Steel Club one. And meanwhile, Odin takes out the other damage one, and Korn uses her Dragon Stone alongside his Dual Strike to defeat Rinka. Warding Blow can't save you when it's not your turn. The remaining one will fall on enemy phase.
I'm so sorry. Well,
This turn is nothing but moving forward. Elise heals Arthur as they do so. And same with Jacob separating Nyx so he can use Live to Serve to heal them both at once. If Nyx hadn't gotten hit last turn, Jacob would simply take her Vulnerary and use it. Baruka also pairs into Camilla in preparation for the next room. Camilla, with Baruka in tow and hand axe in, well, hand, climbs up the stairs and heavily damages the Hammer Oni Savage. Their friend Selena climbs up and waits on the stairs, ready to fight that same Oni. Since she can't one-round him without support, Camilla's hand axe move prevents her from getting lunged and killed. Camilla's going to be dragged around by these lunge ninjas and eventually fight Kaze. She takes very little damage and is in no danger of dying, but the damage she does here is crucial to our units finishing them off next turn. The other units on Team Camilla will simply wait for next turn to climb up the stairs. Back over on Team Elise, Corrin pairs into Odin, who then advances to the next room and puts himself in range of Azama's Hexing Rod. This seems scary, but between supportive, Lily's Poise, Demoiselle, and the fact that he never got his res sealed, Odin will be just fine. Elise also isn't in range, and she isn't in range of the Archer, who's the only enemy in the room that can damage her. Camilla doesn't need to hit all of her attacks here for us to be able to clean out the ninjas, but it'd be really nice if she didn't miss Kaze. Camilla lunges the ninja underneath Kaze to provide attack stance support to Niles and Selena, similar to what she did in the last room. The former does the honors of taking out Kaze himself. Nyx wants a level, so she attacks this ninja at one range, both to apply Heartseeker and to give Selena a perfect hit against the last ninja with her bronze sword. If Nyx misses though, the ninja's counter will fill her card gauge, and Selena can safely kill the other one here, since everyone survives the one Nyx should have killed. Even Niles is safe, since the ninja loses 2 attack against him thanks to the weapon triangle removing his B-rank shuriken bonuses. Over on Team Elise's side, we're going to perform the most dangerous looking move of the clear. First, Odin attacks one of the low health diviners. This is the one instance that Miracle can screw us over. If this guy procs it, then it's a reset, but we have a 90% success rate here. Then, Arthur kills the archer with his bronze axe. This looks like an awful idea. Even if Elise provides him with her auras and kills another enemy, the other 2 diviners can still team up on Arthur to kill him if Azuma lands his hexing rod. And thanks to Arthur's non-existent luck and terrible resistance, he will almost certainly be targeted and hit by it. But what we're going to do is some AI manipulation. By having Elise trade him his hand axe and then killing the other low health diviner, the 2 remaining ones will both be at full health. Because of this, they see that they will die to Arthur's hand axe counterattack plus Elise's dual strike, but that they won't die to Odin's single hit with Nosferatu. Since they don't understand that they could combine their attacks for a kill on Arthur, they will simply try to avoid dying while still dealing damage, and that means attacking Odin instead, who's completely safe. This is why Odin and Elise specifically have to kill the low health ones. Those ones would die to all potential targets, and would therefore just attack Arthur to try to maximize damage. This is off-script Blue coming in for a second, just to note that Arthur dodging this hexing rod as he does here is pretty unusual, and it causes the AI to behave differently, and I can't quite showcase what I mean here, but you're just gonna have to trust me on this one. Didn't want to have to re-record this. But the real focus right now is on Team Camilla, where Camilla wastes no time advancing to the next room with the dual club equipped. With Baruka pair up, she takes very little damage even after the ninja's debuff. She won't run around the paired samurai with her counterattack because of armored blow, but that won't be a problem, and you'll see why in a moment. Otherwise, Niles grabs the chest containing the spirit dust, and the others all wait patiently. Thanks to enemy ordering, the life and death pair moves before Camilla gets lunged into the range where they could have attacked her. But now we have a new problem. The pair that lunged her now occupies the stairs, and since there's 2 of them, Camilla can't attack to open the space back up. Her allies on the left side can't assist her this turn. But thankfully, she has just enough bulk to survive this enemy phase on her own, as long as she kills the lead samurai in the life and death pair. Before we end turn, Team Elise chips Azama in such a way that he's left with 1 HP so that Miracle can't activate. This is important, since if it does activate against someone attacking him at 1 range, they'll take a ton of damage thanks to counter and his personal skill. Camilla, just barely alive, lunges the ninja while one-shotting him with her steel axe. With this move, the rest of her team can swoop in and finish off the remaining enemies. First, Jacob switches her to the Duel Club and uses her Dual Strike to kill the Diviner. The others all come in one after another and use attack stance to ensure high hit rates against these dodgy samurai. With Niles using Camilla's Dual Strike to kill the full health one. Lastly, Azura dances Camilla so she can kill the remaining life and death one. The last samurai alive doesn't have enough attack or speed to kill anyone on his own, so they're all safe. On the right, Korn finishes off Azama with the Yato, not having to worry about Miracle.
Huh?
Let's see.
Or at least, she tries to. Lastly, Elise and Arthur unite with Team Camilla. It's worth noting that if it's needed for any reason, Elise does have a free staff to use that may save someone's life if it's necessary. Niles takes the last kill of this room, and then gets refreshed by Azura so he can make his way to the room with the Enfeeble Staff chest. Everyone else does some healing and progresses towards the final room. The next couple of turns is generally more of that same thing. Finally, we face Hinoka. Since this is a kill boss map and we only need to kill Hinoka to end the map, everyone who isn't contributing to killing her just wants to gain as much EXP as possible on the rest of these enemies. First, Jacob pairs into Nyx, who will attack the right-hand Skynet at 1 range, which applies Heartseeker to both her and Hinoka. With this, Camilla can use Niles' dual strike to chip Hinoka down.
Yes. Oh. Oopsie.
With Rose's Thorns and Odin's pair-up, Corn has enough attack to finish off Hinoka with perfect accuracy. So everyone else just fights to gain EXP before we finish off the map.
Big sister. I see. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's go.
And that's that. This clear was surprisingly interesting to make, and not everything I did here was something I initially thought up when planning the map. The Arthur AI manipulation in the Diviner Room is a prime example of that. I hope this video gave a better idea of how to use both the offensive power and reliability of attack stance, as well as the safety of guard stance, alongside one another. And I also hope that you enjoyed watching and that you stick around on the channel for future clears. If you want to see me talk more about Conquest, fellow creator Dani Doyle and I are currently streaming a playthrough of Conquest Lunatic on her channel together, and I highly encourage you check them out as well if you enjoy those streams. With all that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.